Hello everyone, my name is Rocco Baldassarre. I'm the marketing manager at Shirofune, and today we're going to look together at our new webinar, 5 effective tactics to increase the sales of your e-commerce store. We're going to look at tactics that I've been using for many of our accounts that have been resulting in very good performance for the accounts. Some of these tactics, many people are not using them at all, so you're going to for sure find something that you can benefit from. But with no further ado, let's get started with it. The first thing that we want to focus on is to double down on conversion accuracy. This is extremely important. Many of the clients we work with, they forget the importance of first-party data, given that the cookies are disappearing next year, right? So with the disappearance of cookies, we want to make sure that the data that we feed our advertising platforms, and in this case, Facebook, is as accurate as possible. So as you can see here under active events, we want to make sure to create conversion API data that is basically gonna feed from your server into the platforms for all of our conversion actions. So add to cart, initiate checkout, purchases, and view content. This is going to be implemented usually through the use of a plugin that is gonna do all the hard work for you when you do conversion tracking. But you can also have a web developer do all the implementation for you, should you guys not use a templated website or a website that is built in a custom theme. With that said, though, it is also important to keep another few things under consideration here. First of all, you want to also take advantage of data that you collect from actions that are not necessarily purchased. So, for example, if you want more purchases, you need to have more add to carts. People that add to cart are more qualified than people that just visit your website. People that initiate the checkout, of course, are more relevant than people that add to cart, and people that purchase, of course, is our ideal audience. But if you're lacking a little bit of action on your social media, focusing on add to cart and initiate checkouts might be a very good strategy, particularly if you're feeding the right data to the advertising platform. And in addition to that, make sure to use a third-party tracking platform. All the different platforms will report on that data differently, so you want to make sure to use a reporting system that is as accurate as possible for you to understand where your sales are coming from. So do not forget to take care of the basics. In this case, do not forget to do as much as you can to optimize your tracking. As you guys have noticed, we are still focusing on meta. And here is a topic that for me is very important, which is the cost per thousand impressions. This simply means how much you're paying every 1,000 times that your ads show up. Now, the cost per thousand impression is not something that we use AI to optimize for, but we usually optimize for purchases. However, different creatives really have different level of cost per thousand impressions. So let's look at the column here, the CPM column. As you can see here, there are very different levels for different creatives that are very similar to each other, and they have a different video in this case. You can see here we can go anywhere from $23 all the way down to $12 per thousand impressions. Most of the times, the ones with a lower cost per thousand impressions, they also have a lower cost per click. But that is not always the case, because if we look here and the last row as well, we can see that the last row is a much higher cost per click. This is because, yeah, the ad is getting a lot of engagement, but is not getting a lot of clicks to the website. So you want to find creatives that have a good mix between the cost per thousand impressions and your cost per link click. Now, this doesn't mean that we are optimizing the campaign for traffic. We are still optimizing the campaign per purchase. But clearly, if this ad with the 159 CPC gets sales as well, we want more of this ad than, for example, the ad that is performing at $26 per cost per thousand impression, because the cost per click is much higher there. What are the variables influencing it? Well, first of all, the level of engagement. Facebook is a social platform. Instagram is a social platform. So Meta focuses on engagement. The more engaging your ad is, the lower your cost per click will be as a result of a lower cost per thousand impression. But of course, the engagement is not what we are looking for. We are looking for sales. So we need to make sure that the ad stimulates people to click to the website. So as you can see here, it's not only about as getting the traffic and the sale, but it is also about strategizing cost per thousand impression and CPA to find the best CPA possible with the ad that costs the least from a cost per thousand impression standpoint. So do not get stuck on a mere purchase approach. You need to focus also on efficiency and the right mix between CPM or cost per thousand impression and CPA, which means, of course, cost per thousand acquisition. This is going to allow you to maximize the profitability of each sale. And as you can see here, it is pretty clear how different level of CPMs generate different level of CPC, and similar CPAs have completely different level of CPCs as a result of course, the engagement of your ad and how you stimulate people to click. And again, if you look here, the $23 costing 137 is costing less per click than the $12 then is costing 159. So technically, here you would be tempted to use this ad, but clearly this ad is not getting nearly the same amount of clicks. So what can we do to replicate the same amount of clicks for the $12? Can we have a stronger CTA, a stronger call to action to try to get it down? Because this ad shows a lot of potential. But for example, here, the 1433 costs more than the $23 one. So you can really interpret this data to understand what creatives are generating the most traffic, what creatives are being the most engaging, and what creatives have the biggest potential to lower your CPC even further. So keep in mind that Facebook, Meta, and Instagram and TikTok, all of these platforms, it's not only about the sale. There is a lot more to it. As you guys can see here, Google offers us the possibility to actually create standard shopping campaigns. They hide it pretty well. It's at the bottom of the setup. All you got to do is to select it, and all of a sudden, you can create a standard shopping campaign. With that said, it is extremely important whenever we set up a campaign for our business that might sell products to actually test a standard shopping campaign. And there are several reasons as to why this is so important. First of all, standard shopping campaigns are way less volatile. They allow us to control much better how we use our budget, and we can guarantee basically that our ads won't show up on, for example, YouTube or the display network or the search network. In addition to that, standard shopping gives us the baseline of sales that we really need, and we can make sure to target exactly the users we want. Now, don't misunderstand me. Performance max campaigns are really good, but they need some data to perform well. So I usually recommend to test performance max campaigns later on when you collected already some conversion data for your account. With that said, you are going to be increasing the efficiency of your campaign by simply starting gradually into the world of Google Shopping, starting with standard shopping first and going into performance max later. But you do not need to misunderstand what Google is communicating to you. You can use standard shopping campaign. They're still allowed. It is an option. Google just recommends you to use performance max. So all of their setup is going to be meant for you to go for performance max. But use standard shopping and get the sales you need and create the marketing budget efficiency you need before switching campaign type. The next thing the next thing that we want to focus on is about SEO. People would say, why does SEO impacts my performance on Google Ads campaigns? Well, this is very important to understand. First of all, SEO is something that is based on keyword relevancy. The Google AdWords quality score, it is based on keyword relevancy. The ads are evaluated also based on keyword relevancy. As a result of that, it almost sounds obvious that if you optimize your landing pages for keywords using SEO strategies, using backlinks, using the proper meta tags and title tags, whenever Google evaluates the relevancy of a keyword for your business, it is more likely that Google will think the keyword is very relevant and assign it a higher quality score. A higher quality score will exponentially decrease your cost per click, making your marketing budget buy way more than what it was buying before. So whenever you think about SEO, do not only analyze the SEO results based on organic traffic and organic conversions, but more importantly, evaluate it based also on the results you're getting in terms of cost per click. This is something that 90% of the businesses do not realize and do not focus on, but it is something that could dramatically change the performance of your ad account. Let's just imagine saving 50 cents per click on a keyword that is generating 1,000 clicks. All of a sudden, you're saving $500. You're decreasing your cost per acquisition by a total of $500. Well, this is something that it is going to have an impact. The bigger your account it is, the bigger impact this strategy is going to have. So always focus on your keyword performance and understand if there are keywords that you need to create a proper SEO strategy for. And there is probably the most important tip of them all, which is the optimization for lifetime ROAS. Very few companies do that. Very few. And what does it mean? Many marketing managers are evaluated based on performance on a short term period, on a month to month analysis. What is my ROAS this month? What was my ROAS last month? This creates a mentality that does not lead to success. We get stuck on a month to month analysis when campaigns actually keep producing results with the customers you generated. You might find out that the campaign that in month one does not perform well, in 12 months it generated the highest amount of repeat business. As a result of that, we need to focus on a long term analysis. This is extremely important. This is going to change radically the performance of your company. As you can see here, we put 3 points to remember. Don't get stuck on a month to month analysis. Do not focus on a short term analysis. Focus on a long term analysis. And lastly, use your historical data because historical data is there for a reason. Algorithms use that all the time. Why don't we use that? Here is an example of what really happened to one of our clients. For example, let's look at the first campaign right here. The new audience automated search generated in month one a 1,136% ROAS and within 12 months a 2,232% ROAS. Now we look at the second campaign, PC Builder Page, automated search. In month one, we generated the ROAS of 883%. Anybody will focus on this campaign when optimizing the account less than the first campaign. But let's see what happens to PC Builder Page automated search once 12 months have passed. This campaign generated a 3,141% ROAS. Now, looking at this result, you might want to allocate more budget to this campaign and not to the first one that in month one it generated a better ROAS, but within 12 months it doesn't generate as much of a performance. And this can be seen across the board here. This campaign, case automated search, 791% in the first month, within 12 months, 2,431% ROAS. Doing this kind of analysis is going to be extremely time consuming, but it is well worth your time. Here at Shirofune, this is something that we realize is extremely important, and that's why we built in a lifetime ROAS technology to do all of these calculations for you, and every time report on a predicted 12-month model the performance of each single one of your campaigns so you can make these kind of decisions. We actually can make these decisions for you, and we just report on the performance. And it is extremely important nowadays because with e-commerce businesses suffering from a decreasing consumption, making sure to find the customers that keep buying from you is extremely important. I would invite any of you listening to actually try it for free. You can see how your own data today, using the previous years of data, can shapeshift the budget allocation of your campaigns to actually focus on the one that generate more money over time. You're leaving a lot of money on the table right now. And you can see that this is a real company with real numbers. All of the campaigns that performed well in month one, most of them did not keep up in terms of performance with campaigns that did extremely well over a 12-month period. So keep that in mind next time you think about budget allocation. Do a lifetime ROAS analysis, and if you want to try us for free, feel free to contact us anytime. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. Again, my name is Rocco Baldassarre from Shirofune.us. Hopefully you guys found our tips useful. If you would like to try our lifetime ROAS system for free, feel free to contact us at any point in time. You can go right here on Shirofune.us and get in touch with us. Have a great day and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.